Hello there. My name is Sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online as a stage 4 vampire. I often get asked why I insist upon doing this, and today I felt like looking deeper into my mind and the fascination it has over vampires. I have previously created a video that brushes on the subject while offering advice on how to stay alive as a stage 4 vampire, but the aspect of immersion and roleplay didn't get much attention in that one. Let's get into a through childhood, a subject absent from Elder Scrolls games but familiar to all of us mortals. As a child, I read a lot. One of the first books I picked up was Little Vampire, Der kleine Vampir by Angela Sommer Bordenburg. After that, my reading choices continued down a path darker and darker, lined with tombstones and skeletons, memorial candles, dark trees and spiderwebs, all those things that make you stick your hand deeper into the writhing mess of entrails known as horror. Leafing through the archives of terror, I found the tales I enjoyed best to be about vampires. I can't tell you how many adventures I've shared with Dracula and Lestat, and those created by my own mind. Vampires in ESO have risen from their graves to stand amongst the tales I've enjoyed, and allowed me to experience a touch of what undeath could be like. After the first drop, I whispered, as Claudia upon her birth, "I want more." And here we are, years later, joined with a dozen blood-stained roses. Playing as a stage 4 vampire makes your gaming experience unnecessarily difficult. You take more fire damage, your regular abilities cost more, most merchants and bankers and NPCs refuse to speak with you unless put under a spell, and your health no longer regenerates. In return, you are given a few cool passives to reduce damage taken and to boost damage done. Unrivaled beauty comes with vampirism, that goes without saying, but that's about all we get. Passives and the look. Most players agree that being a vampire is okay only when you wish to roleplay as one, and I must side with them. Venturing into group content as a stage 4 vampire does make others look at you kind of funny, and you do notice the effects of numerous penalties quite clearly. Staying alive is a challenge despite numerous self-heals we can use, and since regular abilities do cost more for vampires, we can be slow and low on sustain. I wouldn't deem group content impossible for stage 4 vampires, but it might be smarter to enter without such a debilitating curse. Roleplaying in the open world as a vampire is a whole other matter. No one judges a solo quest, no one really notices a peculiar build in public dungeons. Being a vampire grants a lot of aspects you might not get to enjoy as a curseless character. Let's go. Vampirism comes with 5 unique abilities and 1 ultimate. Eviscerate allows you to whack an enemy to deal a set amount of magic damage. While this is an amusing way to hurt foes, Eviscerate also plays with the aspect of not being able to regenerate missing health by doing more damage while your health deteriorates. And if your health isn't dropping fast enough, Blood Frenzy, a toggleable ability, will bring it down in a flash while increasing your weapon and spell damage. While toggled on, Blood Frenzy will slowly drain you of life, while pretending any outsider from healing you. Vampiric Drain, I think, is the easiest of vampire abilities. This drains an enemy of life force while healing you. Morphs also restore magicka or stamina, which actually comes in pretty handy as ordinary abilities cost more for us. This is an ability I rarely use. Other heals are more efficient, and I've found more reliable ways to restore resources. Mesmerize is perhaps the most curious of vampire abilities. Most active abilities ESO offers us are meant to be used on enemies, monsters of any kind. Mesmerize, however, has a use beyond stunning enemies for a heartbeat or two. When used on NPCs, such as merchants and bankers, it makes them overlook your condition and happily do business with you. This experience alone makes trying vampirism worthwhile. Last, we have Mist Form. This allows you to leap upon enemies as red mist, while granting you a moment of being invulnerable. While the base ability is a touch bland, morphs take it to a whole other level. Elusive Mist makes you faster and decreases the cost of area attacks, while my favorite Blood Mist deals magic damage and heals you during its duration. Both are excellent immersion boosters. Vampire Ultimate, the Blood Scion, comes in 2 morphs. I prefer the Swarming Scion, which brings a flock of bats to swarm around monstrous you and tear at the flesh of enemies. The Perfect Scion also takes you to monster form, but instead of bats, the penalties of living as a stage 4 vampire are removed for 20 whole seconds. All in all, vampire abilities seem to be designed to bring joy to those who prefer roleplay to meta damage. They play with and around the penalties of being a vampire, while allowing you to test strange and unusual combinations of skill lines and armor sets. Passives in the vampire skill tree offer no surprises. The time needed to enter sneak mode is lessened, damage taken is reduced a touch based on missing health, and as we exit sneak, invisibility or mist form, weapon and spell damage are increased for 6 seconds. Though the last one pleases me greatly, I find most joy in unnatural movement. This reduces the cost of sprint, and if you sprint for 3 seconds, you'll turn into red invisible mist. In this form, you can dash through delves and public dungeons without disturbing enemies. In the open world, other players see your shape as you pass them, but if you enter PvP areas, you are completely invisible while sprinting. This serves as an unexpected bonus when battling other players, or cowardly searching for an exit in a suddenly overtaken part of the Imperial City. As leaving invisibility increases weapon and spell damage, vampires can make deadly assassins in PvP. I might try that someday when I'm feeling feisty. So, is playing as a stage 4 vampire a good deal then? Something I would recommend wholeheartedly? Hell no. Vampire abilities aren't that good, passives don't make undeath that much easier, and the penalties can truly cripple you unless you're fully dedicated to work your way around them. But if you do, like me, have a fascination for the darker side of life, to the macabre, the unthinkable, then becoming one of the cast ones can bring a new aspect to roleplay. But do be warned, the dark side doesn't have cake. It holds only hardship, agony, and the unmatched satisfaction of lore expanding before you by your hand. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Next time, I thought we might return to my elementals, Liana and Inessa, Ice and Fire. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.